And then the Aesop fables, fables of Aesop. This cat right here, the Black Man of the Nile, Dr. Yosef Ben Yakanan.
Mm.
That's one of the best books in the world you'll ever find.
Gotta dive into that, man.
Yeah, man. Talent's overrated. Yeah, keep the book. So Malcolm X speaks.
Man. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
man. And
all the
50th
50.
Law.
Oh man, 50 Cent.
Yeah, 50. And Robert Greene. But this is all my dad's collection of books just on Uncle Malcolm.
Man.
Whole collection of books, man. So yeah,
Listen.
man.
Yeah, we can dive
Yeah.
in, man.
Let's get it.
Yeah, introduce yourself to the people. And yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
cook up, man. Yeah.
All right. What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up, world? I'm Ice Cold Jonesy, aka Steve Jones, great nephew of Malcolm X,
Man.
and just a great grandson of Luis Little and Earl Little. Yeah.
Man, so how is it being from that the lineage, man? How is that family tree and the stories and everything
Yeah.
you came across and the knowledge you gained?
Man, the family tree it's amazing, man. It's strong genes, I would say. Very strong genes. And the stories I've come across is so many stories um that just make you laugh and just show the smiling side of everyone in the family or
Yeah.
the serious sides. Um it's of course too many stories to even name. I got a glare right here from
What's
that
your top
window.
three? The top three stories.
Uh man, top three. Probably one about Uncle Malcolm, like he when they were kids, like he made a bowl of chili,
Hmm.
and he made it so hot that nobody in the house was trying to eat it but him. And they
That's
was
how I
like,
make
"Mom,
my tea, man. We make my tea hot.
this is like cayenne pepper."
Not cayenne. I just have it up too high, bro. Just
Oh
have it up
yeah,
high, man. It be burning me.
yeah, yeah. I feel it. I feel it. Tea is really good for you in the morning, man. Hot tea. I need to get some of that. Uh, and then another story is like this one my grandma told me. My grandma is the youngest daughter, the youngest girl of the family. Her name's Yvonne Woodward Jones. Yvonne is the baby. He called her Vonnie in the book, the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Um, and she told me a story about I can't remember which brother it was, but they were sorry, some Doge got away from me on eBay. I ain't tripping about that. All right, yeah, she had like told me the story where they were playing in the snow and one of her brothers grabbed a snowball and threw it and it hit one of the brothers in the head and he just started bleeding, like bleeding. And it happened to be a rock inside of there. It that it's not funny, but it's just like, dang.
Oh man.
That's yeah, she always told me that story. And there's so many of them. Another one that I love, um, it's like it's some sad stories, but then it's like, wow, it's like powerful. Like this one's in the book.
Okay.
Uh, my great granddad would have his kids go out during snow. They did a lot of work during the snow time and a lot of playing. But he would have them go like wipe off the garden. They had a garden out and they had windows set outside and they put the seeds underneath these windows and then they would have to go wipe all the snow off of the window, off of the glass,
Hmm.
so that the sun can shine down into and then create a plant. And so by the time spring came around, they already had a plant, like they had crops just
Man, yeah,
from that
that knowledge,
knowledge, like
growing on, that's what we need to get back into, man. Um,
yeah.
so what's some stories about, Malcolm Little before, Malcolm X,
Okay.
um, like the transition stories that you heard about and that was passed down.
Um,
Like I know his fasting was
Let's
serious.
see.
I could
Yeah,
fast for 6 days, water fast, but man, I heard his fasting was strict, man.
very strict dietarian. Like I think they said that he didn't really have any food in his not food, but any like sweets or anything in his stomach when they ended up doing the autopsy. They said he was the one of the most healthy specimens in the world
Man.
just because he didn't eat sugary stuff. He didn't, man, I wish I had his discipline.
Oh
But eating sugary stuff, eating just unhealthy things. But I would say some of the transition stories was like um Uncle Reginald was really captivating and really influential should be the word. He was really the one who got Uncle Malcolm to transition to the Nation of Islam. You
okay.
see, it was really like his brothers and sisters pushing him rather than what the movie tries to tell us.
Okay, yeah.
So that's one of the things that's true is that Reginald Little, his little brother, it talks about it in the autobiography as well. But yeah, kind of his little brother is the one who kind of got him out of the streets. And yeah. And another thing is that um Uncle Malcolm, he kind of was like he he was militant as a kid. Like his dad would take him to um to visit these these militant black figures. So he would go with him to go to these prominent meetings of Marcus Garvey, the UNIA meetings. Malcolm would be the only one to go. So that's what started it one. And also his mom was a bit rough on him because he's my complexion. Uncle Malcolm. We're a lighter complexion. And so they frowned on us. I don't know what it is or why it is that way, but his mom was very hard on him, and his dad was very easy on him. So that was one of the things that he would be like, "Man, what? I'm a backlash. I'm a fight against it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go and steal some stuff from the store because I don't have anything at home. I'm starving." And my mom is she's struggling, but at the same time, she's working hard.
yeah,
And he didn't get it. He didn't get it that it was a lot of stress on her. And I wish he would have got it. But I think now you can read it in the autobiography is that he wish he wasn't so hard on her. But at the same time, my great grandma, man, she is amazing. She was amazing,
yeah,
amazing at what she did as far as bringing up all those children by herself after her husband was killed, murdered,
yeah, exactly.
brutally,
Yeah,
cut in half, still lived for the whole entire day, cut in half.
man.
So, and then they got over on her, they pulled a fast one on her. But so all that is what really fueled the fire for Malcolm. He actually wanted to know who killed his dad. He was digging.
Yeah,
And Elijah Muhammad was telling him, like, let's forget about it. And he's like, look, I think I know who did it, and Elijah's, it was very, this
go
is
the same way,
some
man.
rare information,
Yeah,
but it was very tough because Malcolm was trying to find out who these adversaries were early in his lifetime when he was still in prison. And he was trying to find out, he had a lawyer trying to find out who killed his dad. And Elijah Muhammad at first was for it. And then I think he started to tell him, like, just forgive and forget, because that's one of the nation's policies. Forgive and forget, and know that know that Allah will take care
yeah.
of you. But Malcolm's upbringing, it really stemmed off of Mary Turner. A lot of people don't know this, but
Okay.
Mary Turner is her name. You'll have to look her up, guys. But Maryturner. Mary Turner had a husband who was killed back in like the 1919 or 1918. This is before Malcolm was born. But
Hmm.
when her husband was killed due to not a slave revolt, but more or less like
Yeah,
he got into an argument with a
May
white
19th,
person. May 19th, the day of his
Yeah,
birthday.
yeah,
She was killed, right?
man.
They took her body. She was pregnant. They smashed the baby. They cut open her stomach
Yeah,
and then smashed the baby. Sad. But this violent act spoke to Malcolm. And it's what really catapulted him to become a militant figure, other than, of course, oppression, the downpresser, man. People always against him. The Ku Klux Klan was against our family since the beginning, man. So all these things stem, but the Mary Turner incident, it's a hidden thing that I wanted to introduce to your show because not many people know that Mary Turner's life really
yeah,
drove him to being an aggressive leader for black black freedom.
yeah.
You know, because what did they kill her for? And no one even talks about it. No one talks about it. We talk about Malcolm, but we don't talk about
Exactly.
how what made him a firebrand. And that is one thing that really did. Of course, his dad being murdered is another thing, or
Yeah,
his mom being put in a mental institution. But I
yeah,
would say the three things that's hidden is that one, his family got him into the nation. His
yeah.
family got him into the nation, not Elijah Muhammad, not this person they made up. They made up
Right.
a character in the movie,
Mm.
but nothing
That
wrong
that
with
book,
that.
Alex Haley, man, his you know what I'm saying, his
What's that?
yeah, he's not legit, you know what I'm saying? The story, some of the storyline was kind of like, yeah.
What,
So
the autobiography or the
like I think some parts on the movie, like some, I
oh
mean, just based
Spike
off
Lee?
roots. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some, some parts you felt, did you feel like some parts was like iffy, like wasn't all the way, official or
Oh yeah, there was a lot of backlash, and my grandma was alive at that time, so she had to get with Spike. Like they met, and she had to get with him. Like this isn't right, and this isn't right. But they're doing the same thing today.
yeah,
Uh, you know, people
yeah,
make up their own stories every day about Malcolm. There's Instagram accounts with people saying they Malcolm X and got nothing but pictures of Uncle Malcolm. And then I go and say, hey, what's up, brother? And they're like, no, I'm a sister.
yeah,
So it's like, I mean, well, more power to you. You know, you passing on our family's legacy. It's just tough because people making so much money off of them. It's like I
yeah,
bought this shirt, but did any of the money go to Bob Marley's family? That's the
exactly.
same thing that's happened with Uncle Malcolm's
Feel
legacy.
like similar could be happening with MF Doom, as well, just to throw a name out there. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know,
They bought all
hopefully
his
MF,
merch.
yeah, hopefully MF Doom's legacy is closed up. I believe it is because he's been around a long time in his estate. He probably signed something saying, yo, y'all gotta pay for my likeness. That's
Yeah,
what Martin, that's what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
yeah. And
did.
it was I heard like they've been watching this family for years, like tapping their phones for a while, like the whole family, not even starting with him, but like yeah,
You talking about Martin or Malcolm?
yeah, Martin, yeah,
I wanted to also bring that up. Uncle Malcolm, they talk about how him being watched when he got into prison, I think it was. And I'll lament a little bit on Alex Haley's book as well. But yeah, the thing about that is they've been watching Malcolm. They were watching him since he was 12, 13.
mm,
He was put into a home, a group home, right?
yeah,
But that was because of a behavioral problem. Sadly, they attribute that word a behavioral problem after they killed off the whole family or separate the whole family, and then it's a behavioral problem. Come on,
exactly.
but so he went into a group home, a detention center, right? In Mason, I think it is in Mason, Michigan, and not far from Lansing. So he still got to see my grandmother. He still got to see his brothers sometimes, but you could tell things were changing, yo. And they started to keep a record on him once he went into a detention center because you have to understand my great grandfather is pivotal for bringing Marcus Garvey to Michigan. My great grandmother actually was the secretary of the Universal Negro Improvement Association. She
Man,
was the secretary.
that's deep, man. That's deep.
Yeah. yeah, so she was the secretary for the Lansing chapter, and they try to say like, my great grandfather was the pivotal one, but it was really her.
Mm,
She was the one that could read and could write, and could, but so the really, really, really deep part about it is that kind of like my great grandfather was murdered not because of him being black and being in Lansing at the wrong time. It was because he wrote a letter to
mm,
the president. You can look this up right now. Earl Little writes a letter to, I don't want to say it, the president's name wrong. Woodrow Wilson, as I'm a guess. I'm a guess.
mm,
I don't want to get it wrong though. But he wrote a letter to the president and said that he wanted Marcus Garvey out of prison or out of jail. And that letter sparked some type of conflict, I feel. And
mm.
they said that we want to take him out. Well, they've been watching Malcolm since then, you see, since that time frame. So with Uncle Malcolm's legacy now being wide open, it kind of shows that they were just trying to cut the fire back before it got, man, he talks about this himself, but
Yeah.
before the fire got too crazy, they put out the flames. They started a whole nother fire. They
Hmm.
started a whole nother fire. And that's how they put out other fires. But anyway, so he wrote, I don't know if you did you look it up or anything, but he wrote a
I'm
letter,
looking it up.
and that letter, it really did popularize my great grandfather as a potential hazard to these to the American democracy at the time, because it was saying, he didn't do anything wrong, let him out, and it was a black man talking to the president, like mailed it. What black people were
Yeah.
mailing the letters to the president in the 20s.
Dave Chappelle's great, I think great grandfather, you know what I'm saying? He pulled up to the to talk
Oh,
to him.
straight up?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was talking about it in his that I think it was an 8 minute special he put out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
about
love Dave Chappelle,
oh
man.
yeah, legend man, definitely. Yeah, like
Hmm.
yeah, they don't talk about these stories, man.
No, they
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, man. What
And
was
then Wikipedia just twist it all up for you.
oh yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
anybody typing that, yeah, they
what
twisted
was your
everything.
question?
Oh yeah, so I guess we could dive into your viewpoints on um, you know, the one night in Miami. Um,
Okay.
how did you overall feel about
Yeah.
Malcolm's portray?
I had to watch it twice. I think being a family member is kind of tough for me to see him at a volatile state. I'll use that word right now because it's starting to become fresh in my vocab. Uh, but I didn't like the anger issues that they gave him,
Yeah,
and I feel like his composure is way more meek. Is the word I would use.
definitely.
He's way more meek, and he's not that, especially him being that older. Because this was like months before he passed on. So I didn't, but he was also going through a lot at that time, but he wasn't doing any, like, taking any pain pills or anything like that for him to be that uh, uh, paranoid. But then again, if somebody's after you, who would
Exactly.
know?
And
Who would
then
know?
you
So I
saying
had to watch it twice
he's been watched by like since 12. That kind of makes sense.
since
Like it's
12.
always been someone watching. That's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Big Brother been watching. Big Brother.
Yeah.
That's the crazy book I read.
You can go, I didn't finish that, but you can go in the FBI files and you can see when they started finding little traces of Uncle Malcolm. And literally one of the first things was when he went into that detention home, and then they started keeping a record. Then he got in trouble when he was in Boston as a kid, and they got records, man. FBI. So,
Definitely.
and nothing. I think what it is J. Edgar Hoover was
Hmm.
really looking for the Messiah and looking
Yeah.
for the Black Messiah and trying to cut him down. And it's sad because we got those J. Edgar Hoovers today. I just think like it's tough. But for Malcolm, it was like they was at him. They were gunning for him just because his dad did something against the American democracy. But then when he woke up and uplifted his mind, they said, "Oh shoot, we got to get this one out." So it's, you see what it is. It's like a,
exactly. It's
it went all the way down to his grandson, man. They took
yeah,
him out in Mexico.
yeah, man. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's a cycle, man. What did
It
you feel
is.
about Sam Cooke
Let's go.
and his conversation? Because I feel like that's damn near the conversation we was trying to have with Lupe.
For
So,
real, man. I'm glad
yeah,
you brought that up, man. Hey,
yeah.
much love to Lupe.
Much
And at
love.
the same time, because I see you be on there like, bro, Lupe, yes. And it's like, I was the same way. But then, like, looking back at it, it's like, yo, thanks, Lupe, for giving me that time. But at the same time, understand where we're coming from, man. This book talks about it all, man. Black man of the Nile. If we were here first and
Yeah,
you trying to take all our history and say it was yours, why wouldn't we argue the fact? Or why wouldn't we ask for our reparation?
and
Because we built this, But
always
Sam Cooke,
oh yeah,
phenomenal, man.
Sam Cooke, man.
Phenomenal.
The fact that he mentioned that Rolling Stones, pretty much took, uh I forget his name.
His Yeah. He
Uh,
found Rolling Stones, right? Is that how he framed
he
it?
said Rolling Stones took the song that what's his name? He mentioned uh
Yeah, it's Bobby.
Bobby
Bobby
Womack.
Womack.
Bobby Womack, man. He like his like after Sam passed, like he tried to talk to his wife, like yo,
He
he
didn't
got hands
try. He
put on
did
him.
it.
He got
And
hands and feet put on
man,
him.
my little brother, much love to him. He always be bringing that story up, man. He'd
Yeah.
be like, man, Sam Cooke, man, the minute he died, his boy Bobby Womack took his suit,
Mm,
wore his suit to his funeral, and then took his woman. It was like, damn. But I guess, man, I gotta watch that Netflix story about the two killings of Sam Cooke.
yeah. I
Uh,
dived into it, man. That it was hard to watch, man. You know
you know,
how they did
you
them.
know that that song that I was born by a river in a little tent,
Hmm.
you know, just like the river I've been running ever since. It kind of remind me of the Nile River, you know
Mm.
what I mean?
Hey,
In
man.
the Nile Valley.
Full circle, man.
It really
It's
is,
a book
dog.
I got called like Prehistoric Pyramids in America. So
Yeah,
it's always been, father and mother, that America always been father, and I feel like Africa always been mother,
for sure, for sure.
to our people. That's what I feel at this point. It's too
It's
much
real.
history in that book. It's like it's a
I'm gonna
good
have
book.
to check
It's
that
it's pretty
book
much
out.
maps. It's maps and
Yeah.
information pretty much. It's pretty good. Good book.
That book, I bet you it relates to this book right here. I keep bringing this book back up, but
Yeah.
man, it talks about Manetho, and how he created the first
Mm.
bro. The Solis calendar. You see,
I was
uh,
talking about calendars last week, man. We broke down, our true calendar, man. Yeah,
what's that? The Ethiopian calendar.
the solar calendar. So pretty
Yeah,
much, yeah, 10
yeah,
10 months, pretty much. It's a deep. These brothers mathematically broke it down. It's kind of it's
yeah.
definitely
Well,
interesting.
the first mathematicians came from Africa, man.
Oh,
Akibulan. Let's talk about that real quick. So in this book, he talk about the name of Africa is a French name, a French word,
mm,
France. How can France name Africa? You can fit France inside of Africa like 1,000 times.
yeah,
You could fit United States inside of Africa.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So Africa is called Akibulan, ALKEBU-LAN, and that's our history, man. It dates back before Africa was named Afrique, you see,
yep.
by the French, and before the first European colonizers came to Akibulan, there were different tribes, or you could call them tribes, but we call them high culture civilizations, and they are all the Great Lakes region, is what it's called, man. When we think of Great Lakes, we think Michigan. Nah, bruh, lakes in Africa are bigger than that. You know what I mean? And then they got one of them's named after Victoria now. You see how they changed stuff
Oh
up?
yeah.
But
And salute to Jane Elliott. Like she exposed how the map
yeah,
manipulates, the true, size of Africa and yeah,
yeah,
America. Salute to Jane Elliott.
yeah. Shout out to her. And Auntie I for
Oh yeah,
always bringing her into the figure in the
definitely,
foreground. But that whole topic, bro, I would like to talk about that one day. We could sit down and
Okay.
do another Zoom. Because
Okay.
that's a whole book, man. Akibulan is so lost that King Leopold, I wouldn't even want to call him king,
Hmm.
it would be looked at as like 8 times worse than Hitler if
Oh
we
yeah.
really knew the atrocities he committed and how he and other whack ass people from all these small ass countries took over South Africa
Oh
and
yeah.
like murder by the millions, man. That it would make the Holocaust look like it was just a January 6th
Exactly.
insurrection, like 6 people died type thing. You know, it
Man.
will make the Holocaust look that small. But it's I don't think it's like I don't think we're supposed to bring it up and make it seem like it's a bad thing. Instead, we should bring it up and make it seem like this is our heritage and y'all should be paying us because of this.
Oh
You see France gave back they're giving back statues, African statues and African artifacts and African things that been in this museum. You know the
yeah.
Sphinx, the nose
Artifacts, man. Wordplay.
artifacts.
Artifacts, man. Yeah.
You know the nose of the Sphinx was shot off by Napoleon's rifles, his people,
Exactly.
right? Oh, actually, I take that back. They were using cannons. It was practice. It was cannon practice.
Oh yeah.
They had just got these new cannons, and they went to Africa and just started shooting them off.
Yeah.
And sorry, I got a call real quick. And shot off the nose of the Sphinx. Well, lo and behold, now that nose is in a British museum,
Mm,
never to be returned. But if it were to be returned, you would see the nose look like your nose.
exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's what they didn't like. But to just to go back and to full circle it all, Sam Cooke,
Yeah.
he was telling Malcolm, like, look, you ain't gotta get it your way. It's other ways to get the attention out to the people. But Malcolm's like, look, brother, you are a weapon.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're a weapon,
A
man. And
weapon,
then Jim
brother.
Brown
Yeah.
is like, we are not weapons, man. Malcolm, we are not weapons. And he's
Exactly.
like, but you are, you know, and it's
Yeah.
that part led me, after watching that twice, man, it let me see the seriousness of Uncle Malcolm meant by yes, you are a weapon. And you see what Sam Cooke did. He used his voice as a weapon. And
How
he
he did.
that night, that next day or something like that, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something a little different. And sang that song, I bet you a bunch of people is crying. If not, I know a bunch of Africans were crying because
Powerful,
that's
man.
what we are, man. We Africans, man. Whether they like it or not, whether
Yeah.
we like it or not, they try to use the word black
Yeah.
so much till it upsets me now.
That's why I break
Uh,
it down, man. Building leadership, and communication, knowledge, black,
ooh,
BLK. Yeah,
ooh,
yeah, man. I try to be.
man, I'm gonna have to get some more information from you and see what stemmed you to become more not militant, but just open minded and conscious
Yeah,
of of
yeah.
of your.
Baba Dick Gregory, man. I don't know if you got stories with him and
Ooh,
his
just
interaction
you
with
met
Malcolm.
my man's.
Yeah, yeah. I met him in 2017, and the weird thing is, like a couple weeks later, he passed away. It was kind of like he
Man, but
passed the torch without knowing. Like it was kind of
wow,
yeah.
you met anyone like that since?
Besides that, he was the only brother that OGs and that I met. Man.
Did he cuss you out at all
Oh no, he
in a
was
nice
cool.
way?
Nah, he was cool, but like, so I watched him. So I pretty much I went to see like his lecture, and he was angry, but information,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
doing the
Cause
huh,
it matters.
Dick
Huh?
Gregory.
Huh? Huh?
Yeah,
You ever been there? Huh? I mean, I love this man. I
yeah,
love this
man.
man.
I love it. He be snapping
Dick
at interviewers, man. I love it.
man, Dick Gregory, he said something about milk that got me off milk, something crazy. I still eat candy with milk, chocolate in it. That's the bad part, like that I'm trying to get back out of. That's why I was saying like the discipline of Uncle Malcolm is insane, as he uses the word that way. Insane is the way he likes to say it. I love that. I'll tell you another story about like how my dad told me about Uncle Malcolm, what he thought. But but yeah, it's insane the amount of power that milk gives these people. You see, because you drinking milk from a species that's like 20 times bigger than you.
Yeah.
So what's that gonna do to your body? You know? So this milk, I mean, more power to them, but I just know it's like I can't remember the name of it. It's like casein or something like that. Anyway, there's something in it, the milk, that is so bad for us, but
Oh yeah.
we use that shit to a power. Now you got milk in everything,
Oh yeah.
cheese,
Dairy ain't good for
everything.
the
Dairy,
appendix. It ain't good for the,
nah.
and it messes the tonsils, man. The tonsils is like the first, pretty much the shack, the matumbo, to the to your defense of your immune system. People don't
The
understand it.
tonsils?
Yeah, your tonsils are important. If you get your tonsils out, it's like, oh, it's like that's like your first response. It's like, hey, it's like, but yeah, it's a
Damn.
lot of when you break down the body, man. It's kind of crazy, man. Even like the toes, I put up
Really,
a post yesterday, man. The lungs, it's all the brain is it's a connection in our feet, man. It's
really though.
all so our whole body is mathematical, and it's crazy,
Right.
man.
So I did want to say that then. I'm bouncing around right now, but I swear it all
We
makes
cooking,
sense.
man.
So this book, it talks about Manito. I'm actually on there right now. It talks about pi and the mathematic equations and where they came from. They came from these African civilizations, these high culture civilizations from the Nile Valley.
Hmm.
And the high priest Manito in the Nile years. The Nile years. You ever hear people talk about the Nile years?
Not too much, exactly.
See what I'm saying? So we predate Adam. If we talking about Nile years, Adam wasn't even thought of, or even Moshe, they call him Moses.
Yeah.
So they talk about like how the ark, the covenant of the ark, used to be. Originally it was called the great stone or something like that. The stone chest, it was called. And this stone chest is mathematically like perfect, dog. And that's where they got all their
Mm.
information from mathematics like this. Like, can you see that?
Yeah.
So like 1 plus 4 plus 8 equal 15, right? And then 15 plus 60 plus 120 equals 195. 13 times 15 is 195. They doing all that with only the numbers 1 through 8. They only had the numbers up from 1 to 8. It says the main reason for much of the complexities in the above method of calculation was the fact that the Nile Valley and Great Lakes Africans had not yet developed a figure beyond the number 8 at this early period in their history. Bro, if that
Mhm.
don't tell people that the first people to create
Oh
the
man.
number system were Africans, not black, because
Yeah,
there's a
exactly.
difference.
Exactly.
Black can be anything, you know what I
Black
mean?
is a color, man.
Black is a color,
Yeah,
man.
man. This is black. Yeah.
Right. This
Yeah.
this is black, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Exactly.
But the person in there is African, you
Exactly.
see? And that's what they cut him down for, because he was showing people that we're African, you know what I mean? And not even just African. We have certain different areas. Like Malcolm's from the Bambara tribe. And that's how I know my people, because of him finding our history. And they say the West Indies, British Indies, whatever Indies, but I'll just call them like the
Yeah.
Caribbean islands or
So
but
he found out his heritage through like his travels.
yes. And just man, I believe just like him doing the travels in Ghana and going back and finding more about his history, his African roots, led him to finding out that we are from the Bambara tribe, because he went back to Ajar, Ajar. This is like my great 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 great
Man,
grandfather.
great. Man.
So this is my lineage, you know what I'm saying, man? You know, I got Malcolm in me, man. I got Luis Little in me running through me, you know.
Yeah. And
And I got Ajar running through me, man.
I think a couple weeks ago they found even they found some more Egyptian statues of the queen and
Okay.
etc. Yes, it's like yeah,
Which
all this.
one? Hatshepsut or
Yeah,
like
let me look it up.
Nefertiti? It's so many. And you see, like Hatshepsut, that's during like the man, this book talk about it all. But that's how I know a lot of it now. But she was during like the Hyksos. invasion, they call that. So during the time where Asians were invading Egypt and naming it after them and making the statues look like them, and but at the same time they had to integrate and had to have sex with these Africans.
Yep.
You know what I mean? How can we be created? You know what I mean? I was in Dallas and they was like, it was some militant black Israelites,
Hmm.
and they was like, you a Edomite, you a Edomite, all in my face, you a Edomite, cut. I'm like, man, calm down. I'm just walking past. I had to get
Yeah.
into it, like, hold up, hold up. So Bob Marley, Edomite, yeah, Bob Marley, Edomite too. I'm like, okay, all right, fine. He an Edomite, sure, but we don't know nothing about that. We just know that we African, we Negroes. You know what I mean? You trying to say that we
Yeah.
Edomites now? We from far the other side of Asia? You know what I mean? Or it's just wrong, man. It's just
Yeah.
wrong for
It's
us
too
to be
much
so.
division. It's like,
Yeah, it's too much division.
yeah,
And
it's been
even
programmed.
I'm
You know,
writing a
this part.
book right now. It
Okay.
is. I'm writing a book. Yeah, I call it Lies, Bloody Conquest, and it's big. It's big. But it's just talk about the lies and bloody conquest of all these European invaders and other invaders, and how they switched the game up by lying and saying that Jesus is white. They switched the game up in lying by saying that they created universities first, when the Salamanca University was here before they asked.
Oh yeah. So from the Book of the Dead, that
Yeah,
was
the Book of Ani.
yeah, the Book
Talk
of the
about it.
Dead, man. So yeah, it was a recent founding, 22 burial. Um, so it was announced, I think, January, top of the year. So
Wow.
yeah, man, like
Wow.
yeah, it's always found is coming up on the daily. We already know that.
Yeah, we know that.
we was
In
the
fact,
thing is we world people, man. We was everywhere. And
yeah.
and then I overheard this live last night. If they truly wanted to give us reparations, just give us the world back. Just
Woo!
get out. I'm gonna send y'all to Iceland.
Man, speaking of which, how you feel about that Bill Gates situation? Him shunning the sunning, and you know what I mean?
So elaborate with Bill Gates, man. I nasty Bill. I call nasty Joe, nasty all of them nasty.
Yeah, yeah,
Man,
boy, nasty Bill. So like, I think Iceland is about to be like some new spot for them, and then they trying to like hide the sun. So it's like, where we gonna go? Iceland?
mm,
Come on now, y'all from Iceland. Like we found Iceland for y'all. You know what I mean? You want to talk about it? Yeah, or Antarctica.
yeah,
Cause the first person to find Antarctica was a black man, not
exactly.
Captain Perry,
Oh, not Perry.
but your boy Henson, who
Yeah,
is related to Taraji P. Henson.
that was crazy. That was crazy. That's full
Crazy.
circle, man. Yeah, that's full circle. Even just
So
bring it back to Sam Cooke.
yeah, bring it back, bring it back.
On my grandmother's side, she was through marriage, she was related to David Ruffin. Like, yeah,
Wow.
it's
I,
crazy.
I I feel you. In my girlfriend of 5 years, almost 6 years. Um, she's related by marriage to Dizzy Gillespie.
Crazy, man.
It's funny, man. I wear Bob now, and I've been repping Bob for a long time, man. I love his soul, love his spirit. But
Oh yeah,
my sister is now partners with a brother, Rasta brother, who is just a brethren of Bob. Like
man.
his dad did all the discography work for Bob. His name is I don't want
Yeah,
to get it wrong, but he's a Marley basically to the T. But Nessa's dad is Neville Garrett, and he did all about most of Bob's artwork, bro. Drawings, and he wrote his songs for him. Bob Marley didn't write his music down.
oh nah, yeah. You could
Neville
tell.
wrote it down.
You could tell.
He
Yeah,
he 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 had Neville write for him. He would sing it. It would be his words out of his mind, Bob's mind, but he would
exactly.
have Neville write it down. You see, um, and so like all that goes to show like how like he was just from God's culture, like just from like he was a part of God, I think,
Yeah,
and that's why people look at him, they look at Haile Selassie I the first as like G God, you know. But it goes back before him, bro. Menelik the first. You ever heard of him?
Say it again.
Menelik the first.
Mm.
Menelik the first.
Well, I haven't. No.
Menelik was uh he was an emperor of Ethiopia. His dad is King Solomon.
Mm.
King Solomon.
Man.
And his mom is Queen of Sheba. Her name is Makeda.
Man.
Makeda. So this is an African, and I think Solomon was African too. They make him look white, but I think he was African, man.
Oh yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I
man.
mean? So Menelik wouldn't have been light. He would have been light skinned if Solomon was white. You see, but he ain't. You can look up
Exactly.
Menelik the first, and you see he was dark. But yeah, Menelik was the one who brought Christianity to Ethiopia. Before that, they believed in the pagan gods. They believed in what the Queen of Sheba, Makeda, what she was being taught by these high culture civilizations, by these Africans of the mysterious systems, mystery systems. You know, you heard of that
Oh
from
yeah.
the Book of Ani, the Papyrus of Ani,
Mm.
the mysterious systems, and these mystery systems, they all have to do with uh, uh, geography, the solar, like everything, bro. Engineering, all
Oh
these
yeah.
different things, mathematics, science. They created them first, and now you look at it, the Knights of Columbus, and then all these different Masonic companies and all these different Masonic belief systems. They all came from that,
Oh yeah.
from
Moors and everything. Yeah.
within these pyramids. Yeah, and the Moors were all black. They the ones that started the Salamanca University,
Golden
Saqqara.
bones.
You know
Exactly.
what I mean? So they, and now we can't get in there. Now they won't let any black people into the Knights of Templar, or they ain't let nobody in the Elks Lodge
Exactly,
that's
man.
black of my color or your color, because they know that we were the ones that created it first.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, that's going over off topic. But I did
Oh
want
no,
to
you good.
lament that, because it's like that's important, because how you hide that history and then you try to say that America was built by all these white Freemasons.
Yeah.
The Freemasons got their whole idealistic ideology from these Africans.
I seen
You
pictures
know
of
what I
George
mean?
Washington with a Moor with the the red
Yep,
famous
in the skirt and
yeah the
all that.
skirt. Yeah. Yeah, man.
George Washington's grandfather was black, man.
And like
So
Abe, you know what I'm saying? Start on Abe. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
we, it's like uh Kodak said. He said the president that I like is dead and on a piece of paper. That's nah, not like that.
Yeah,
That's a bit militant, but he just was saying like the money is one. He
exactly.
said Trump freed me, but the only president I like is the one on a green. That's green.
Bro, it's so crazy that when I found out Obama's related to George Bush, and then that
I didn't
man,
know
that
that.
was yeah, man. His grandfather, man. His grandfather was a CIA agent.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, let me look.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
And President Obama, he goes back to Kenya, of course. And the Kenya people, they were some of the originators of Africa. You know what I mean? We know it as Kenya, but back in the day, it wasn't named Kenya. You know what I mean? It had different names, all these
Oh yeah,
different things.
they changed so many
Uh,
names. It's crazy.
yeah, they
I mean,
did.
they changed
So
our
they,
names. They changed it from Red. They always tried to.
right,
Yeah,
my
but
last name Jones.
yeah, exactly. His name was Stanley Dunham, Obama's grandfather.
Okay.
He was a CIA agent. He was related to all the Bushes. Bush Senior. Even yeah, like the lineage go all the way down to James Madison. Like it's a crazy lineage, man. It's crazy. So when I
Yeah, I
found out that,
did
it's like,
hear.
oh, Obama was meant to be president. All right.
Yeah, I did hear that all the presidents are somehow related,
Yeah,
except
it's
for
like
Donald Trump.
one family. Yeah,
It's probably just switched up now since Donald
yeah, they
Trump, and
switched it
now
up.
Joe Biden. Joe Biden being the Irish Catholic. Where are they from? Ireland, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now the person that's from Ireland is running America. Come on now, come on.
Yeah, man.
And Catholicism at the top. When the Catholicism, the Roman Catholics, they got it all from where? Yeah. I guess I just go back to this because this book goes back to it, man, and they talk about like how people like Menelik, they brought these things, or people like
Yeah,
the people that brought religion to Americas, like they sent Christopher Columbus. You know, come on now, bro was in the prison cells. You know about that, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, he was locked
Christopher.
up in
Yeah,
in prison when they saying that he found some shit. But anyway,
yeah, yeah. He ain't fun. Yeah,
yeah, but they enforced these religions that was already something that was created before, and then just hidden and suppressed. Like Makita, Menelik's mom, she has maps of America. Maps. Makita got maps of America, and they suppressed it. But it goes full circle because it shows like look at like Sam Cooke, like he could have been like a legend's legend,
yeah.
you
He
know,
was. He
just
was up
from
there.
that. He only really had one song that was a mind opening song.
Yeah,
That's that they're saying Malcolm was attributed to that. You know what I mean? He kind of pushed him, coerced him, or forced him to use his black side.
yeah. Use
Say,
that
brother,
voice, man.
use your voice, man.
Yeah,
But I think it was powerful though to go back to that part. That's movie. It
yeah.
was
That
powerful
performance scene was
because
dope. That performance scene, like, yo, the mics are cut off. That was messed
yeah,
up. Yo, you gonna cut my mic off, man? It's like, all right, let's freestyle.
man, for real.
That was
And
powerful.
and how Uncle Malcolm was just like telling him like, but you have, bro, you have to because this is we at war, you know. And when they was going through it, I cut it off, bro. I cut the whole movie off and went to
Yeah.
sleep. Actually, the phone died,
All right.
so it was like, oh, yep, it's a wrap. But I woke up the next morning and watched it, and I had a whole different understanding, a whole different upbringing about it,
So,
and now I overstand because now I see that Malcolm was very penetrable. He wasn't impenetrable at that moment because he was seeing his life flash before his eyes as he had always been seeing. Like he said, I live like a dead, like a man just died already because
yeah.
he had escaped death. You got to see, he had escaped death many a times. You read the autobiography, right?
Oh yeah, man. And salute the Red
He
Fox, man. He got
salute the
stories with
Red
Red.
Fox.
He got stories with Red Fox, man.
Yeah, man. He
They
was
was
his
they was cooking
cellmate.
together, man. Oh yeah,
Cellmates, man.
yeah,
They were cellmates, dog.
yeah.
What kind of, bruh, Detroit Red and Chicago Red? How they
Chicago
become
Red.
cellmates, dog? Cellmates, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
So yeah.
soulmates, really, bruh.
So
Because they was together to the end. But with Uncle Malcolm saying that to Sam Cooke, like you gotta go deep and find your inner self and say to yourself, I'm not giving myself enough uh confidence. I need to be more confident, even if they try to kill me. I need to be confident that this message is going to send into the depths of our uh our African souls, you know, or just reaching down. Because really, what it was is rhythm, and I'll explain that in a second.
oh yeah, all right. Yeah.
But he was reaching down and saying like, this is where I've been, even though all the music before that, it was we were just on dancing,
Yeah.
and I just
Gospel
wanted everybody
records,
to,
R&B.
yeah, God.
Yeah.
But he was pivotal, dog. The way he broke it down to Malcolm, like, look, I've been making money for these black people, you know what I mean? And then Malcolm's like, but did you? I got one for you. It
Yeah,
went
he
in
broke
his
down the number
bag.
one. Yeah, yeah. It's
He
like, hey, I
went.
got something for you. Let me put it on the record, man.
That's where I was questioning, like, he walking around with a Bob Dylan record in his satch, in his, come on, bro. You
Yeah, I think
carried his
they.
briefcase with you.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. But
but
it's cool because I can't remember his name right now. Kevin Ross. I can't remember the guy who wrote the screenplay, but Brian. Nah, no, I don't want to get his name wrong. But shout out to him because
who wrote the script for the
it
movie? Who wrote the
yeah,
screenplay?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Shout out to him and Regina King for picking it up
yeah,
and reading it and then saying we can do something with this because
yeah,
it made Uncle Malcolm live more. It was sad to see, but I talked to my auntie Sean about it, and she's like, "Yo, brother, it was good. It was good." They call me brother, brother, it was really good. Like, why?
Yeah,
What were you? What were
Keith.
you pissed off about?
Yeah, Keith
Keith,
Powers. Yeah,
Keith Powers,
Brooklyn, man. Salute to Brooklyn, man. That's where he
Keith,
born.
Keith Powers,
Yeah, Keith. Yeah, Keith Powers. So Keith, Kemp Powers. Yeah,
Kemp,
Kemp.
Kemp Powers. I
Yeah,
was about to say Keith, bro. Is that the dude that played in the New Edition movie? No.
yeah.
But Kemp Powers, yeah, Kemp.
Kemp
Shout out to
Powers,
him,
man.
man. That's crazy. I was gonna say Brian Kemp, but no, 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 that's what.
Yeah,
Kemp Powers, man. Shout out to you, bro, because he made Uncle Malcolm live again. He made Jim Brown, who is still doing his thing. I think. Right? Is Jim Brown still alive?
yeah. He's out here. You know,
Shout out here.
he was with
All right.
Kanye in the office at one time with
Oh,
Donald,
we can't.
but
Let's
his
not bring
Jim's
it up.
out
Let's
here
not
still.
bring it up. Let's not bring it up.
Yeah.
He was trying to get us some reparations, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
man. December 11th, man, 1964. You know, Sam Cooke. You know his passing, but the film was based on February 25th, 1964. So, uh,
come on, ho, ho, whoa, whoa,
if
whoa,
I'm
whoa,
fact
whoa,
checking,
whoa.
I'm fact check. I got a fact check though. Yeah,
So the A dates is wrong.
yeah, it's crazy.
That's why
Yeah,
I don't like that.
it
That's what
said
I
on the
don't
night.
like about that.
Yeah, the night of February 25th, 1964. Yeah, that's
Okay,
when the one night in Miami was.
that's powerful, man. That's powerful. And to think that both of them passed on within that year, that next year.
Yeah.
Wait, so Sam passed before Malcolm?
I mean, look, yeah, I don't. Yeah, yeah, he did.
You
Yeah,
know, it's wild too because look at how Spike Lee used that song right when Uncle Malcolm was making his transcend into the nether world, they call it in Egypt, in Egyptian time, the nether world, the next world.
mm.
But when he was walking and they did that iconic Spike Lee shot where he's not moving and
Oh yeah,
instead it's a
the
tracking
floating.
underneath
He was
the
floating.
floating.
Yeah,
Yeah, it plays Sam Cooke. I was born by a river.
yeah.
Yeah,
If I'm doing
and
the math right, yeah, yeah. Like December to February, that's the gap. You know, that's sad, man. You know, December
it
11th
is.
to February 21st. Like, man, yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's a lot of like hidden gems, hidden secrets we could chop up, and I can't pass everything on at once.
Oh yeah, of
Because like
course.
Uncle Malcolm would say, you got to give it to him in
Bits
bits
by
and
bits.
pieces.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, man.
but the rhythm, I was gonna get into that real quick. The rhythm is that the Europeans they play music, right? They
Mm-hmm,
just play music, but we created the instrument. You know
mm-hmm.
what I mean? From Africa. You can go back to Africa and see where the first instruments were created in the
Yeah,
Nile
I
Valley,
got I
culture.
got Coltrane playing back here. Yeah, man.
So you got
Legend.
Coltrane, you already know, John.
Yeah,
But we feel the music. It's the difference. They hear it, we feel it.
yeah,
You see? And this guy had wrote about that in a book that I got, and I just be picking it up every now and then because it's like talk about voodoo. But voodoo, bro, voodoo go back before Christianity.
oh
So
yeah. It was a religion in Haiti. Like yo, it's like
yeah,
been a
yeah,
religion origins.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And they even switched it up. That book talks about it a lot, how they switched up the, the belief system in Haiti, and they've made it a little more just to it makes it more like about the country of Haiti instead of about the religion of voodooism, or they got a bunch of different other words for it, but
yeah,
voodoo or um originally it was more to do with like magic,
yeah.
basically magic, and that's what the mystery system talk about, magic, or the I got this book. It's called the book Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ,
Okay.
and he's black on there. My dad gave me that book, and he wrote in there, like, read this, basically, like it's gonna help you along your journey, you know. And now that I'm reading it, I'm like, whoa. He go into one pyramid, and they try to manipulate Jesus, you know, like bringing a girl out and saying, you know, the girl's like, you know, you can have your way with me, and he's like, nah, you are love, you're God, like I'm good. you know, and then she's like, all right, you can go to the next one. And then they would bring out food and he'd be like, no, I'm not hungry. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and then they'd be like, all right, you passed the test. And then they'll bring out like, you know, he'd go in the next temple, the next pyramid. Bro, this all pyramids. He did this for a month or two in Africa. You see what I'm saying? They give the place, they give the time, and they're trying to say he never was in Africa.
It's like, man,
Come on now.
what's wrong with y'all?